Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Dragon Quest Adventure of Die episode review for you guys. And yes, we are back. Hopefully, you guys, if you celebrate it, had a great Thanksgiving. Obviously, Thanksgiving is a pretty big holiday, even though it kind of gets overshadowed. I really do. The one thing I do hate about Thanksgiving is the fact that it really does get overshadowed because it's in between like Halloween and Christmas. And, the moment, the November comes, it's like when it gets like mid to late November, people start putting up to, their Christmas lights and everything. I understand, it's getting to Christmas time and everything, but could you please put your Christmas lights on after Thanksgiving? Like, geez, I'm like people over skipping, and like I see Christmas deals and stuff like that. But anyways. Again, if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving Day, hopefully you guys had a really good Thanksgiving Day, celebrating with your families or just by yourself. I'm eating food and everything, but hey, that is what it is. So other than that, it's back to the regular old scheduled programming in modern day life, and that's the fact that Dragon Quest came out today. This episode was really good. We get more backstory, understanding of Avon, crazy things going on as we get, I would say, nearing to the end, our final portion of the story, I'm guessing. The whole thing with Die, we see Queen Flora return, and we also see the threat the Dark Army makes in killing Avon and not Avon, Unical and Crocodile. But let's get to it. Again, my host isn't on the channel. Obviously, if you guys have typically watched my Dragon Quest Adventure of Die reviews, typically out of my host, the Red Wolf, with me. But he actually celebrated his Thanksgiving week with his family in Mexico, so he will not be joining us this week. He should be back next week. If not, then it is what it is. But hey, he can't make it to every video, even though I would love to get his thoughts on, what's been going on and everything. But let's get to this episode. So this is Dragon Quest Adventure of Die, episode 59. Now, obviously we left off with the whole thing about our heroes losing their first encounter to Dark King Vearn and everything. And all of a sudden we just see the palace we just see the palace just flying around and just destroying all these places throughout the episodes and stuff like that. We even see the bumbling idiots we saw like the very start of the series, the fake heroes, and they get attacked and everything, and seemingly this is what's happening. They're just destroying everywhere so they can have their plan for the underworld to come and essentially merge with the service world and everything. Now, we actually do have a discussion with Mr. Vearn and Zabraera, and Mr. Vearn actually asked Zabraera, he's like, hey, dude, did you know about the black core in Hadlar's body when you were turning him into a superior being? And Zabraera's like, yeah, I knew about that. I just didn't mess with it and anything. In the meantime, Zabraera's just kind of here, just kind of been making fun of Hadlar and everything. We also do find out that Zabraera's actually second in command to Hadlar's armor, or not Hadlar, Dark King Vearn's army. And he's kind of just like boasting about it, as well as kind of putting Hadlar down, saying, I'll never trust that scumbag again and everything, And this is kind of when Mr. Vearn kind of just throws out the threat. He just kind of almost dang near pierces his head. I would say impales his head or something like that. And he kind of puts a threat down to Zabraera, saying, listen, there's one thing I won't let you do, and that's talk ill will of Hadlar, because we know Mr. Vearn has had high respect for Hadlar, even though he turned his back on him. But okay, it seemingly, it seems like Mr. Vearn has still some sort of, I guess you can say, allegiance to Hadlar, even though he's fully on the Dark King Vearn trail. He doesn't want, I guess you can say, his ally to be talked in a bad light by him. And he's kind of saying, listen, the one thing I hate is the fact that there are rats out there in this world like you who try to get by to take advantage of people. Essentially, his threat is like, listen, you try what you did on Hadlar and me, I will kill you within an instant. So don't try anything funny. He walks away after making this threat, and Zabraera is kind of in the background saying, Yeah, you can talk now, Mr. Vearn, but I will have the last laugh. So again, you can say Mr. Vearn is that, well, not Mr. Vearn, Zabraera is that sneaking, cowardly, well, excuse my language, but bitch character that will do anything within his power to have the last laugh. Like seriously, I think this guy would actively like even go against Dark King Vearn at some point. Um, just so he can somehow be the whole thing. He's the type of character that is, and this isn't any genre. It doesn't have to be just anime, but it's like an any genre. It's a typical, little side villain you get in a freaking series where he's kind of the he can be a master manipulator, a sniveling, coward, weak guy that tries to get by, not only trying to fool the good guys, but as well as he tries to fool his own allies and everything. And if it comes to him, trying to be the top, then he'll do it, even if he's going to turn against his, superior leader. Again, like I said, I think me and the Red Wolf will both agree that, that Zabraera is going to get a freaking Bobbity-like kill, In other words, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z, back in the Buu saga, obviously Bobbity tried his best to take control of Buu and try to make him look like, oh, I'm the biggest master on the planet, I'm controlling Buu and everything. But eventually, because Goku told Majin Buu, like, hey, why are you listening to this guy? He's no stronger than you are. Do your own thing. I just feel like it's gonna come. Either Mr. Vearn, or I would definitely see Dark King Vearn is probably just gonna grab Zabraera by the throat and just probably cut his head off and be like, I'm done with your crappy antics. If you think you're gonna get by and kill me, well then please. That's the last thing I need to happen. I'm literally predicting it. If you are viewers, obviously, or you read the manga of this series, clearly you guys would probably know what the fate of Zabraera is. I definitely know, without a shadow of a doubt, that Zabraera, he's going to die, and he's going to get his Bobbity treatment, where he's going to get played, unless they have Hadlar be the one to come back in this final fight, and be the one to finish off Zabraera. Honestly, I would say that being justified, because Hadlar was played in a way, but yeah, so that's the thing there. Anyways, we go over to Pop and Mom. They're washed up ashore. We find out that Mom technically, well, she swam Cold and Pop, and they managed to bring them ashore now. She is knocked out. Pop eventually wakes up. Goma-jan's also there with them, but he's knocked out. And all of a sudden, Pop sees an Ursa Major, and he's like, crap, I don't have enough magic power to take out this guy and come out alive. But we find out that the Ursa Major is actually a good guy, because it's our allies and everybody, like, it's our allies just finding them and everything. Obviously, it's because, well, our boy, I forgot his name. I keep forgetting his name. The rat dude. He has the beast. He has Crocodine's flute, to control animals and everything. So that's the thing there. They find them. They're like, oh, listen, we're just kind of stationed in this forest base and everything. Everybody's okay. Also, too, Nova's telling this to Pop, and Nova's like, listen, also the Queen Flora is still alive as well. And Pop's like, huh? So, that's the thing there. Now, we find out, Leona kind of updates Mom and Pop about everything that's been going on, and it's been 4 days. And that's when she also tells them, like, the palace of Dark King is, going around destroying places, and then they also tell everything. And Mom and Pop, they kind of sound a little bit defeated because, well, he goes on to mention, like, there is nothing we could do. Like, he's overpowered, and what are we going to do about this and everything? So they're obviously depressed in their own ways and everything, and it's kind of a just a gloom mood. But then all of a sudden we are finally introduced, and we see the queen, and that's Queen Flora, and she says, you guys carry the will of Avon. Why are you guys so down, and everything. So, Flora goes on to mention the fact that, well, Avon actually used to be in her order, her army, essentially, as well as Roka, who is Mom's father, was in her order as well. And she kind of tells a little story of the past when Avon was still alive, back in the early days when Hadlar was just taking over and everything. It was essentially the same type of mood where it looked like all hope was lost. How are they going to overcome this? But you know, Avon said essentially, I forgot. It started with an S. It's like let's keep like sprinting around or something like that. In a way, he's saying let's just keep taking the fight and just continue on. Even though right now it looks bad and everything, but as long as we're together and we can find a way to get stronger and fight, and then guess what? We'll get something. And it was a nice little scene because it made everybody laugh and everything. And Flora understood like Yvonne was that type of person that can make the whole room glow with happiness and laughter and everything. And essentially, Flora tells him, listen, don't lose that will to fight. Like, yes, it may be things might not be going good, but as long as you have the will to fight, that's what we can count on. So please believe in yourselves that you can do this. And Pop and Mom, they actually get the idea and they stand up and they're like, yes, we understand. And they have Flora reinvigorates the passion. I definitely did like how they were both like, let's do what Yvonne said, but Florida's like, yeah, we can do that. Just go get some rest for now. And we also find out that Queen Flora, who was a princess at the time, Mom and Pop essentially deduced that, essentially they find out after this whole story that Flora told is the fact that, they realized that, Queen Flora was actually in love with Yvonne. And eventually Pop also goes to tell her, even before everything and stuff like that, that I just said, he's like, you do know Yvonne's dead? And she's like, yes, I know he's dead and everything, but listen, we gotta move on. And she goes on to say, like, I know if he was still alive, he'd still be finding some way to fight, because there would be no chance in hell that he'd just be letting this do idly by. And that's when they realize, oh shit, she's in love with him. And she kind of walks away, and she's like, listen, I'm gonna go, assess the situation and everything, and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to find out that, it seemed that Flora actually had some feelings towards Yvonne. It kind of makes sense, to be honest, the way it is. And two, it's like, in her past, she actually looks a lot similar to how Leona looks like. If anything, she looks a lot similar to how Leona's, in terms of her hair color, like her old design used to be, because I know Leona's old design, she actually had blonde hair. So it looks similar to that, but definitely crazy to see and everything. I also did find it funny how Pop was like, Yvonne and Flora were together, huh? Well, the hero and a princess. Now, at first, I thought he was going to put two and two together. He's like, if Dai somewhere's out there, he's the hero and Leona's the princess. And I thought he would have made some ongoing joke to Leona. He's like, so, Leona, does that mean, are you in love with Dai? And then we could have got a funny moment, but no, he's like, she's very mature. I like this. And he gives this very pervy face and everything. And Leona and Mom are like, don't you even think about it, you freaking dude. You freaking pervert. And he's like, okay, I won't. So I find it hilarious about that. But I kind of do wish that he put two and two together, because I do find it interesting. The hero of that era and the princess of that era, the highest, most well-known princess of that era, at that time, back in the past, it seems like they had some sort of thing for each other, or the princess at least like the hero. Similar to where we're at with Dai and Leona, which we do get a nice moment later in the episode, which I'll talk about in a second. So, anyways, we cut over to actually the Dark Army, and Dark King Vearn's like, this whole destruction things is just getting out the wind. We got to do what we got to do. But Kill Vearn, is rolling his cars, and he rolls it like this spade card or something like that. And he's like, it seems like we're going to be in some trouble and stuff like that. And Dark King Vearn's like, oh, really? Okay, then, bring out the frickin' captives we have, which we later find out is Hugh-Knuckle and Crocodile. So, anyways, Leona actually gets called in because the army is moving towards Rangaria and stuff like that. That's when we cut over to them and have that whole discussion. And then that's when we cut over to somewhat of the main part of this episode, and that's the Holy Mother dragon gets back to Terran, and that's when we see the inner, I guess, vestige world of Dai and everything. Now, the Holy Mother dragon says that Dai was the last Dragonite and he is about to die. And, the thing is, Dai's asking, like, wait, we can't make no more Dragonites? And essentially, the dragon is like, well, that's because Dark King Vearn's power surpasses even the gods. And that kind of goes against what, goes into creating a Dragonite. So, you're the last Dragonite, and now that you're going to die, that's kind of it and everything. So she's already come to the conclusion she's going to stop creating Dragonites because she sees there's no possible way that a Dragonite can defeat, Dark King Vearn because his power's too much. All of a sudden, before it's looking like they're going to go to the afterlife, she senses two spirits within Dai. And then all of a sudden, we see the spirit of Vearn come out, and he goes on to say, Mother, Mother Dragon, you must have mistaken Dai for me. I'm the last true knight that died. Please give Dai a second chance and everything. But the Mother Dragon is like, I don't know. Dark King Vearn's crazy strong. And if I put him back and revive him, he's just going to go through the same, tumultuous pain and experience that he went with the first time he came across him. And Baron's like, yes, he very will, but the thing is, Dai is different compared to the Dragonites of the past, and everything, which is obviously speculating that he has his friends to back him up, and there's also a special power within Dai, not only because he's part Dragonite, he's also part human as well. And essentially, he tells the dragon, listen, please, just give him one last chance. The dragon is kind of on the fence, but eventually the Mother Dragon, is like, okay, this will be his last final chance. I'll give the rest of my power left to revive him. And that's what happens. And before Baron goes, he tells Dai, listen, you're going to be the one to carry the new will of what a Dragonite should stand by. And he even tells her, like, listen, I'm guessing Baron's also telling the new way to create a Dragonite now as well, because he tells Dai, he's like, listen, you find a woman you love and you conceive a child with her, and carry on the will, the Dragonite legacy and everything. So I'm guessing now, the way to now create a new Dragonite is the current Dragonite has to essentially fall in love with a girl, and eventually conceive a child with that said character to pass down the next Dragonite heritage, which only makes sense, because, why not? So I'm guessing this is the way of saying this is the new way Dragonites can be created, or an alternate way, since Baron essentially started it, falling in love with Sola. And obviously, we would envision that eventually Dai is going to fall in love with Leona and create a child with her, and then that's to mean the new Dragonite and everything. I would highly doubt we would get that, but if I were ever continuing the story and were to doing, I don't know if the story's still ongoing or anything, but if I did like a, next generation type of series, definitely I would have had it where Dai and Leona hooked up and they created the next Dragonite child, and that story takes place after then. But it's nice to see. And Baron, he says, listen, me and Sola, your mother, will always be within you, inside of you, watching you. And obviously Dai's very emotional because he doesn't want to see his dad go, and he's revived, and he's obviously still a little bit upset. He's knocks out a bit, and everything. He gets transported back to their base. You get a very emotional scene. I did seriously enjoy the scene. Not only for shipping reasons between Dai and Leona, but I definitely did like the season. I definitely also did like that Pop and the others actually gave the respect they needed and the space Leona probably should have had with Dai. I did like how Pop's like, we should probably give them some space, everything, because obviously, if telling somebody like, yeah, this guy, he's apparently gone, he's gonna be taken away and stuff like that, and he's gonna end up being dead. To that person, when we saw Leona when she was revealed this news, we didn't see like I thought Leona was very like emotional and everything. Now maybe off screen wise she probably was very emotional, but I definitely did like this definitely did like this scene because obviously we know that Leona deeply cares for Dai and she has feelings for him. And she gets very emotional and she grabs his hand and she starts crying and she's happy that he's still alive and everything. Again, like I said, I don't blame her for that. Like, you really do like this you really do like this guy, and he's the hero, somebody you look up to in a way, and you have feelings for him and you're in love with, and he almost freaking died, and you didn't even get to say like a final goodbye or something like that. And the fact that he's still alive and you're holding his hand, that's the thing that matters most. So I definitely did like that scene. It was a very sweet and adorable scene. I do kind of hope when Dai wakes up they kind of have some sort of a moment. So that would be nice, but maybe I'm asking too much because with these animes you never have these ships go good, but hey, it is what it is. It's a shonen anime, so yeah. Eventually when Pop and Mom and the others go to meet Flora, they say, look, well, the good news is Dai's healed and he's with Leona right now and he's just asleep and he's healing. And obviously Flora's like, good, but we got bad news. And the bad news is, well, the Dark Army essentially makes their threat known that in a few days will destroy the surface world and everything. They didn't say they will destroy, they said they will vaporize the surface world. Like, damn, they're gonna vaporize it. So they're like, we're gonna vaporize the world, but to set the example of what's gonna happen to you guys, we're going to execute the two members that were in the heroes party, the two traitors of ours, and that's Hugh Knuckle and Crocodile. They will be killed in 2 days in the northern part of the Carl Kingdom in the mountain areas. And yeah, and after that, you're all going to hell. So yeah, that's where the episode ends off, and that's the thing. So next week, it's seemingly the episode's titled Pop and Die, so I'm guessing it's gonna be something to do with these two characters and everything. But yeah, so our characters, our heroes, have 2 days to train and get stronger to then confront and save Hinako and Crocodile, which I believe they will. And yeah, but other than that, this episode was really good. I definitely did like this. The fact that we finally got to meet the Queen of the Carl Kingdom was good. But other than that, guys, again, I'm gonna for hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're checking out this video. Again, put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode of Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai. Again, do not post spoilers since I'm anime only. I have not read a lick of the manga, so I do not want to be spoiled for future events. As well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai content, as well as any other content I upload to the channel. So other than that, guys, I'm for again, hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving Day yesterday if you celebrated. Arm, you had a great day yesterday. But other than that, I'm gonna hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night watching this video. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.